Hi, everybody. This is Martha Creek. You can contact me, marthacreek.com. Email, phone number, everything there. There's also hundreds of podcasts and hundreds of videos and everything that's offered to get empowered teachings to the whole of the planet. So that's what this Mentoring Moments of Martha is about. And join us. I've got Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer here with me, a dear friend and colleague and fellow earth angel who's absolutely intentional, purposeful, and deliberate, which is why, Jerry, I'm doing this and inviting people in, people that matter to me and people that I believe are living on purpose and with purpose. And somebody reminded me just today, I know who you like to hang out with. You want to hang out with somebody that's got something going on. And I thought, that's the darn truth right there.
There you go.
I'm about something myself, and I want to hang out with people that's about something. And I heard that some of our early teachers used to ask questions like when people would come in with their big list of bright ideas, and how much I see that on a daily basis, our big dreaming. And the question is, what are you working on today? What are you going to work on today? So I know you're working today, buddy, and you work every day and you work on things and that you're about something. So I know several things you're about. I'd love you to just pick a favorite one of your many, many ways that you minister and care for the world. And let's lift it up here and share it out with these listeners so that this is meant to inspire them into their own action and to inspire them about being about something, and then whatever they're about, to feel empowered and absolutely further equipped to do so.
Wonderful. Well, Martha, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's great to be with you. And my project in these strange and wonderful days is about allowing. I am reminded often and frequently of that. I think it was Paul McCartney's song, Nobody Ever Said There'd Be Days Like These, Strange Days Indeed. And all of a sudden, we're not able to do what we want to do. And all of a sudden, things have changed in our lives. And maybe all of a sudden, we looked at the calendar and said, I'm how old? And so just all of these changes in life, and can we feel what we feel, but at the same time keep walking through and keep processing through. So that really is in so many different areas of my life. That's what I'm about today.
Well, you're also living in, honey, and I've witnessed
Yep.
in my time together with you. So we could pick any one, So think about a marriage, a 33 years?
Yes.
Marriage, and how the mind will then formulate to, I know what marriage is, and now I'm too old. Jerry's husband actually died. He transitioned, and a beautiful, beautiful human being, a loving man, loved certainly by this Jerry. And yes, you heard it right. Jerry was married to Jerry.
Right.
And to absolutely stand in that allowing that was as it was. And I have a lot of feelings about that. You have a lot of feelings about that, and I've witnessed you day in and day out walk through and grow through, Jerry. Grow through, not just go through grief, but grow through grief, and to use that grief as a challenge for you to grow yourself. That you were spurred to growth by that loss and by that grief. And to absolutely affirm and confirm and validate for yourself, just because you're 60 or more, or you've been married 33 years or more, that you don't yet know what marriage is about. We don't yet know what we're here to be and to become and to experience, and to keep our mind open enough to allow for an infinite potential in that, instead of this little closed-minded, I know what it is, this category of marriage or this category of love or category of relationship. So speak about your ministry and how you're encouraging folks not to let age get in the way and not to let loss and grief shut you down and stop you from living. So we can't get in the grave with them, because then there's no one here to live the life that we do have. That's
Right.
that's ours to live.
Right. Well, I had the opportunity to attend a, a weekend workshop sponsored by an organization called Elder Pride, which is LGBTQ wonderful people 60 years old and older. And historically, I've used a little color here and there, although I don't anymore. And I've just, hung out with young people, and not so young people, but just, had a young way of thinking. And so I was at this wonderful event and had the opportunity to speak about Urban Street Angels, which is an organization that I work with in San Diego. And just, it was kind of out of the blue. It was an, oh my God experience. You're 61 years old with all of these people 60 years old and older, and you belong here. It really was almost a coming out experience, because I'm like, holy crap, how did this happen? Denial only works so far, and then we kind of have to figure out that, oh. So my path has been, and you talked a little about this, my path has been that I was married to my beloved for 33 years. He died almost 2 years ago, went through the grieving process and the shame related to the grieving process, because in religious science and science of mind and new thought, everything is wonderful and everything is as it should be, and they're in a better place and all of that stuff, using a purely spiritual term, which is absolutely true. But the fact is that I'm grieving and I'm feeling this loss. And so it really was a growing experience for me to recognize that it really was okay to feel what I was feeling. So I'm at this amazing workshop, and just really got the idea, and in speaking with other people there, and so many people talked about just not being able to get their feet on the ground. So I'm 60 something or 70 something or 80 something, and why do I need to get out of bed in the morning? What's my reason for being? What's my purpose? And so my second book, my first book, was coming out to ourselves, admitting, accepting, and embracing who we truly are. The next book that is in process is coming out again, admitting, accepting, and embracing life after 60. So finding that purpose, finding that identity, because Jerry and I were together for 33 years. He was Jerry and I was Jerry squared. So I was Jerry squared for all these years, and now I'm not anymore. So how do I find my identity, and how do I find my purpose and my passion?
Yeah. Well, I want to speak about that. I don't know what would you start to say?
I was just going to say, I'm on a couple of different Facebook groups, and one for gay widowers, and I would say that this is not unique to the gay community. Just everyone that's lost a partner, husband, wife, whatever you choose to call it. And really, if you go through a major loss, like the loss of a job or a parent or just anything like that, we have that period of time when we're not sure who we are, because so much of our identity was tied to that person or that experience. So what do I do now? Because if all I was Jerry, if all I was Jerry squared, if all I was what I did at that job, if all I was somebody's son or daughter, then what do I do when I'm not? So I'm working on the book related to allowing ourselves to feel this grief and this loss, because of course so very often we don't. We should on ourselves, and now again, they're in a better place and all the rest of that. And that's absolutely true, but I get to feel those feelings rather than smashing them with.
Yeah, and to say You really shined a light on this, and you have in this last 2 years, particularly since I've been aware of this, as I definitely want to shed a light on this, that it's not what the teachings say, and it's not what the teachings are, and that it's a misunderstanding of the teachings that says that these things are included, these things are part of reality, and we went in there somewhere naively, innocently, and said, oh, these will be good things and these will be bad things, or these will be positive things, or these will be negative things. And then we begin to experience them as that. So then anytime any of the bad blows in or the negative blows in, we get shameful about it, blaming about it, pathetic about it. Then we go in denial, suppress, depress, disown, instead of like including all of that.
Yeah. And death is so incredibly difficult because you've got all the loss surrounding all of this, and we don't know what to do with it, and neither does anybody else. You know, so often I don't know what to say, so I'm not going to say anything, and so it looks like I don't care. That's not it at all. It's just I didn't know what to say. Yes. Yeah.
Making up these feel good, and you've used the word "to my delight," this fake positivity about this, like it's all good, it's all good. And it's like nobody burying beloved spouse wants to hear it's all good. Nobody burying a child, nobody that just got terminated to diagnosis wants to hear that it's all good. And it doesn't deny that in the absolute, yes, maybe, who knows? But just because I called it good doesn't make it so. And just because I call it good doesn't mean that I'm going to experience it as that. And certainly not without due process, human learning processes, and evolutionary emotional process. So you're really onto something. And you have grown through it and worked through it. I was very sparked by your questions about how we're going to do this. How are you going to do this at 60, at 70, at 80? So answer that. I mean, answer your question, how you've done this. Stop coloring my hair. Stop coloring my beard. See who I am. See what I'm attached to. Speak about ministry, honey. Writing a book, another book.
Yep.
Going to a convention of old folks and realizing, oh, I am them.
Yes, right. Yep.
And I can be delighted about that. That it's,
Yes.
I'm still cooking on all 4 burners.
Right. So part of this, of my ministry, in addition to the book, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, but is the workshop that I created about seeking and finding inner peace in the muddy water. So admitting, I so would like to tell you that I'm always charming and sparkling, and don't tell anybody, but I'm not. And if we are always charming and sparkling, maybe there's something that we need to look at, because we get to be, and in these amazingly ridiculous times, we get to be irritated that we can't go do what we want to do. We get to feel those feelings rather than glossing it over with, all is well and everything's in divine order and all the rest of that, which it is, but I still get to feel the loss and the disappointment. Yes.
Yeah. We're going to, one way or the other.
Right.
Emotions would kick in, honey. Instead of like allowing those feelings, and your word is powerful and purposeful to allow the feelings, which doesn't mean I'm going to live in them. I'm not going to, but I'm going to give them space and allow them to rise and pass on their timing, on their process.
Right. So the book is really for me and my constituents to look again, so what's next? Recognizing, yes, he's dead. And that's new for me too, because we say they made their transition. They passed away. They, whatever we say, but the truth is they died. So they died. I'm still here. What's next for me? And whether it's 20 minutes or 30 years, if I'm staying at home, being quiet, not doing anything, not sharing my wisdom and my talents, the world is missing out on what I have to share. so it's a big part of it is in encouraging myself and others to say, okay, so maybe there's a new job for you. Maybe there's a new love for you. Maybe there's a new opportunity for you that you hadn't thought of, that you have the opportunity to look at as we process these feelings. So part of the book has to do with allowing ourselves to grieve and to feel what we feel.
Yeah. And it sounds like, and in the meantime, I'm ever evolving. So
Yes.
I stay open to what would the next iteration of love be? What would the next iteration of my gifts be? What gifts and talents in me are not yet cultivated? And
Yes.
very empowering to hear that, and very inspiring. So keep going, honey. All the other ways you serve, and the way you serve ministry, your Urban Street Angels, the way you're serving there, the way you're serving Anton, and how you've done that here as administration, and then stepping now into Jerry is the new president of the affiliated New Thought Network
Thank you very much.
at a time that is auspicious as far as leading that organization, honey. So it's like you have hit a stride even in the middle of this loss and grief and change and awakenings. I mean, some of the shock, I mean, as you described that, of looking around and thinking, how did I get at a 60 plus gathering? Oh my God, like my secret's out. And then saying, okay, the truth has set me free.
Right. Yes.
Now,
yes. Yeah.
you answered the now what with now what? Really look at what's true for me. Really look at, and I know you painted your house and did things there that you wanted to do. And I'm going to write the second book, and I'm going to be open to what love is and isn't. And I'm going to quit shaming and guilting myself over feelings of loss and grief. And I'm going to step up with this organization that means the world to me. And I'm going to serve Urban Street Angels. And you had a big loss there when your meeting place and all that was taken down through protocol or governance of some sort, some city governance of some sort. So you really had to modify there.
We did, and Urban Street Angels is an organization that works to house and employ homeless 18 to 25-year-olds, transition age youth in San Diego. And for about 3.5 years, we conducted a Tuesday night overnight shelter for between 20 and about 40 young people that would come in and directly off the streets and come in and have dinner, take a shower, watch a movie, have a safe place to sleep, something that they could plan on every single week. And the church where we were doing it had a situation with the city of San Diego, and we're no longer able to do that. So that ended actually just about a year ago. But our housing program continues. And so today we have 77 formerly homeless young people in our housing program, learning, firstly, having a safe place to sleep and 3 meals a day, but also learning about finding a job and managing money and relating to other people, and just all of those things that you wouldn't have learned if you were out on the street. So it's absolutely amazing program, and I am so honored and thrilled to have the opportunity to be involved in that. Yeah.
So Urban Street Angels in San Diego. So give the website here, honey, so it's specific. So some of you will want to step in to support this. You're looking for ways that you can make a difference, that what you do matters. Your thoughts matter, your prayers matter, your energy matters, your giving matters, your support matters. So let us know how to contact you like that, honey, through the Urban Street.
Mm-hmm. www.urbanstreetangels.org, and the youth in our program can either go find a job with one of our partners, or they can work in our soap business. And so you'll see, if you go to the website, our soap brand is 8 West, the number 8 West, and about 8 different fragrances of high-end, all-natural, handmade bar soap. So wonderful holiday gifts with a great story behind it when the time comes. So thank you for the opportunity to advertise that.
Glad that you did, honey. It also supports us that are wanting to support organizations like this, and to do shopping that's easy, and to use good products, and
Yes.
to do it with grace, honey, ease and grace too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now speak about, so we covered the book, so stay tuned for the book. And that book, first book Jerry wrote, was very important for the LGBT community because it was about coming out in that way. Is that true, honey? Was that your primary basis for that?
It really was. It was especially for healing shame and guilt and regret for anybody, but especially for the gay and lesbian community. Just had an amazing experience with that because Metropolitan Community Church, which is an organization of primarily gay and lesbian led and attended congregations, the moderator at the time wrote a blurb for the book. So I had a wonderful opportunity to speak in some of the larger MCCs, which was absolutely wonderful. So this second one is coming out. So it sounds like it's gay and lesbian again, but it really is for all of us who wake up one morning and say, you know, the Miss Clairol didn't work. I really am X age. What do I do now? Or somebody died. What do I do now? How do I find that purpose? How do I find that identity? Yes.
Yeah. So many opportunities there. So now speak about Anton then, what that means to you, what you think our organization's about.
So Anton, the Affiliated New Thought Network, is this amazing organization, membership organization of New Thought, religious science, science of mind, and unity congregations and individuals. So whether you're a minister or not, whether you're a practitioner or not, whether you're just a student, well, not just, but whether if you're a student and interested in the teaching, there's an opportunity for you to be a member. But we also have some amazing month by month programs, and one of those is our speaker series that's held on the fourth Thursday of every month, and we have amazing and wonderful New Thought leaders come on for an hour and talk about what they're doing in the world and share ideas and so forth. Our beloved Martha Creek has been a guest. We've had just many other wonderful people, and all those are recorded every month and are available on our YouTube channel, Anton, ANTN Members and Friends, and also there's a link on our website, which is www.newthought.org. So in addition to the monthly, we also do a conference and retreat every year. We've been at Unity Village the last several years. We'll be again. We are not gathering in 2020, but in 2021 in April, the 12th to the 16th of April, we'll be back at Unity Village for that with Paul Selig, Mitch Horowitz, Melissa and Z, and just an amazing gathering of wonderful people. More information on the website, again, www.newthought.org. So I've served as administrator for about the last 2.5 years or so, and so it really is my privilege to take my place as kind of leading the charge with a focus on awareness to let people know who we are in bringing the different I was going to say flavors, but I don't like that, but the different organizations of New Thought together, recognizing that we kind of really do pretty much teach the same thing. So let's get together in a room and talk about how we collectively can change the world. So I'm honored and thrilled and very excited to have the opportunity to serve our members and friends.
And thank you for doing that, honey, and for your ongoing commitment and support for that, which is how we came together. One of the ways that we've been together in the time that we have. And this is important because it's open to individuals. So anybody listening
Yes.
here that wants to explore a way to be a part of a community that's not religious formed, not religious based, it requires no theology of any kind. And other than for you to have a commitment that you want to be whatever you're going to be about, that you're about that, and you have a community of people to support you in that. So the membership is very, very easy. And we have these gatherings, as Jerry said, these speaker series, this conference, and you don't have to be a member to come to the conferences. And these are very, very well done, very professionally based. Certainly the speakers here, hopefully you'll recognize those names, and how fortunate we are to have somebody of these caliber coming into our conferences and speaking about that. And that's been the case for many years in a row now. So look it up, come out there to the conference. The Unity grounds are fantastic and wonderful.
Amazing.
Those of you, some of you have it on your bucket list. It's considered a mecca of new thought in many ways. So let Anton be your reason to get out there. And it's in the spring, which is a very high time to be there, provided now that this time that we're in continues to unfold progressively and positively. That's our goal, at least for now. So we're holding for that. And then we speak a little bit about, honey, your own ministry, the way that you talk, that you travel around. I know that means a lot to you. You've been invited to various ministries to serve, to do Sunday talks, and to do workshops and seminars. And I know that you love that. So you have a travel bug that you like to exercise, and you found a way to do that consciously through travel when you was in a different profession, and you've been able to keep that up. That's something important to you. So speak a little bit about that.
It really is, and in my previous life, I traveled around 100,000 miles, actual miles on United. So traveled a lot for many years, and just love to go and do and see and visit and surprise. This workshop that I'm doing related to allowing ourselves to deal with our grief and deal with our loss while still staying anchored in our spirituality, that coupled with the book, I just really am, my luggage is weeping quietly in the corner because it just really wants to go. So ideally next year we'll be in a position to do that, because I have invitations from several congregations, and by that time I'll be ready to kind of do the road show for the book and so forth. But I just love a new thought, and a new thought, you know. So we've been right, yes. So we've been taught this for 100 years, and Ernest Holmes knew it. Charles and Myrtle knew it. They just didn't verbalize it. And so now it's time in these days, whatever these days are, to recognize, so this is where we are. How do we deal with it so we can deal with it? You know, one of my favorite authors was Debbie Ford, and she wrote, "What we can't be with won't let us be." So can we be with our anger? If you have someone in your life that died before you were ready for them to, you may have anger, because I certainly still do. And is there a way to feel that, not shame ourselves, but recognize we have that so that we can move forward? And of course the short answer is yes, there is. Well, we got to look at it, we got to feel it so we can heal it.
Yes, and we've got to look at it differently, which hopefully
Yes.
will be done with less shame and less blame and less guilt and all that. So
Yes.
your anger could be about any topic. Any topic. It could be you're angry because somebody did die. You may be angry because somebody won't die. You know,
Yeah, there's some of that. Yes. Yeah.
it's both and it could be something that others can't comprehend, about how something what looks like less significant is very significant for you, and that you've had a loss that people can't comprehend, that others would even tease or make fun of. A pet. People that don't have pets can't comprehend
Right.
the role that pets have in people's lives, or the role that your profession had for you as a ministry, as a calling. So to lose that, or to have your profession threatened, and Lord knows the body as it ages and loses health, and health's differently. that there's plenty of opportunity for this. So know that there's folks out there like us, Reverend Jerry and me, that has a pastor's heart and a leader's calling to be and express differently and to stay alive and to live like we're alive until we're not alive.
Right.
And to be about something and to give whatever we're about its due deliberate attention for that. So think about as we close, Jerry, if you had a takeaway message, if you could convey something to all of humanity, what would it be?
Well, let me just remind Urban Street Angels, www.urbanstreetangels.org. Antim, the affiliated New Thought Network, www.newthought.org. My personal website, www.revjerrytroyer.com. I'm also very active on Facebook and will be posting updates about the book and all the rest of that. And the wisdom for humanity, I would say, is just be curious. Why do I feel this way? Why is this bugging me so much? Why am I getting angry about this? Can I feel it so I can heal it and move on and just take a little bit better care of ourselves with a little humor, a little curiosity, and a little, because it just feels so much better.
Yes. So you've spoken to the power of wonder.
Yes.
I'm wondering, and curiosity is causative, purposefully causative. So amen to that, amen to that, amen to that. So listeners, stay curious, know that you're loved, keep something in your life that makes your tail wag on purpose.
Yes.
Know that you matter, your thoughts matter, your prayers matter, your support matters, your consciousness matters. So continue to do whatever progresses you, and know that whatever is beneficial to you is beneficial to the whole of humanity. So we make a very, very, very significant contribution through our own personal work and practices.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking the time for Mentoring Moments with Martha, marthacreek.com to contact me if I can ever support you, and stay tuned for more and more uplift and wisdom as we proceed in the podcast. Blessings and love. marthacreek.com if I can support you. Blessings.